What's the weirdest reason you've broken up with someone? Story 1. His feet smelled. I mean, so bad. They were so bad one night I thought he shit the bed. Wasn't going to go the long haul with that. Story 2. 1 year and she told me she was literally an angel. Sad to say there was a lot about her wasn't heaven sent. Story 3. He had a foot fetish and couldn't keep his hands off of me. No matter where we were. He would ask me to suck my toes and give him a foot job around my friends and family. He would ask me that a lot, then rage when I told him no. Because it made me feel uncomfortable. Safe to say that relationship lasted 2 weeks. Story 4. Went on a blind date with the daughter of a lady I knew really well. Date was set up by her mom. When I picked her up, I blanked on her name. We went bowling and I asked her to put the names in. And she either didn't or couldn't. I don't recall. Anyway, she asked me to do it. I named us her and him, or maybe it was she and him. I don't recall. We went to dinner afterwards and had a great time. No name. I dropped her off and told her I'd call. I did call the next day and she answered. No name. I spoke to her mom and she never said her name. This went on for 3 to 4 days with me calling and her or her mom answering. And still not getting a name, and I eventually just stopped out of pure embarrassment and maybe a bit of ego. Looking back as an old guy, I could have gotten her name pretty easily, however. I just ghosted her. Still don't know her name. Story 5. I was 18 and dumb. Her parents invited me to spend the day with their family and they were very openly affectionate. Nothing obscene. Just hugs, tickles, playful kisses. You know. The stuff we all dream of doing with the one we love. Yeah, I was immature and looking back it was healthy and amazing. That they were showing their daughter that it's okay to be proud of your spouse and show them love and affection. I broke up with her the next day. Story 6. She would speak French to herself in the mirror at home. And then she would do it at restaurants thinking it made her sound sexy, I guess. I don't know. Here's the thing, she knew not one word of French. She had no desire to learn a single word of French. She just spoke gibberish that sounded vaguely like French. She was a full-grown woman in her late 20s, college degree, and a job. She started doing it around the 2nd month into our relationship. That shit embarrassed the hell out of me. I know a few words and even offered to teach her. Foreign student taught me how to say, I love a lobster and other weird shit that we both thought was hilarious while getting baked. She said she didn't want to learn, she just wanted to act like she was speaking French. Story 7. I wouldn't say breakup, because it was only the 2nd date. We went to go see one of the Avengers movies, which I was really excited for. The guy and I had seemingly been hitting it off. After our initial meetup and a few weeks of phone banter, he's talking and asking questions during the movie, which is fine. Not a big deal. But then he leans in and tells me how comfortable he is around me and wants to know if I'd be okay with putting him in a diaper. Hard nope for me. This is also not a conversation I want to tackle in a theater. So I downplay and misdirect the talking towards watching the movie. Once it's over, I am booking it to my car, telling him I've got to get home to help my friend, and he grabs my hand, pulls me in for a hug and says, I think I'm falling in love with you. I say thanks, hop in my car and peel out of there. Texted him that I'm not a compatible match for him and immediately blocked. Story 8. He only ate every 4 days as an intermittent faster. So I would eat alone on dates and pay for my own bills while he watched me eat as we conversed. Story 9. Her laugh. I felt like I was in a fucking episode of Seinfeld. Great woman. Smart, funny, athletic, really sexy. Her laugh was so awful I'd get embarrassed in public. It was like a deep bray, like if you gave a hyena the opposite of helium. I'm well aware that this is a me problem. It's a really shallow and asshole reason not to date someone, but when you know, you know. Been married 7 years and couldn't be happier with my partner, without a doubt the best friend I've ever had. And my ex will make some deaf guy really happy. Story 10. My partner broke up with me because I met them while they were in a major health crisis. They lost their home, their fiancé, their family, everything. I came along and got them safe and sheltered and fed and healthy and back on his feet. He broke up with me because the situation was awkward. Since I saw him at his worst, we weren't even dating when he was at his worst. Story 11. Buckle up. One time I went on a hike with my boyfriend at the time. It was a double date. I looked up the weather and knew to pack the water bottles for myself as I dehydrate easily, so I start pacing myself drinking my first water. My boyfriend then reaches into my backpack and takes out the other water and just chugs it immediately. I didn't say anything because I figured maybe I could handle one water bottle. The hike progresses and he keeps saying I wish I had water. My friend's boyfriend looks at me and says, "You should share your water with him," and I'm thinking I already did. Because he drank a whole water for himself. I said no because that's all the water I have left. He just kept saying he wishes he had water. And all I could think to myself was that he should have been prepared and brought his own damn water. I was already nice not pointing out he downed an entire bottle that I intended for me. I broke up with him that day because it showed me two things. First, he is not prepared, and second, he is entitled and rude. Story 12. I'm a professional musician. So I do take time every day to practice my craft, prepare for gigs, and compose. I also have odd working hours. She knew this and kept calling me every single time I told her I was busy. This wasn't a one-time occurrence, nor was it any sort of urgent matter. She just wanted to hear my voice. It was cute the first couple times, but she was relentlessly interrupting my work. I tried to accommodate my schedule to see if we could make things fit, but it didn't make any difference. She just got in the mood of calling me with absolutely nothing to say every single time I was working. Story 13. She moaned like a prey animal being eaten by a lion. As soon as I touched below the belt, and kept it up the whole duration during intimacy. It was a really off-putting moan. The first time I thought it was just some exaggeration. But after the fourth or so time I knew it was for real and just couldn't do it. Had to end things. Story 14. I broke up with him because all 5 times I went over to his house, I felt very unwelcome. He lived alone in a beautiful house, but the atmosphere made the hair on the back of my neck stand up. Like I was anticipating some kind of attack. You would probably try to reason that he could always come over my house. But the more serious the relationship became, the more he wanted me to come over and stay, which meant I had to make more excuses to not go to his house for more than a few hours. I got tired of lying, so I just said I'm sorry but your house does not want me in it, and broke up with him. Story 15. Because of her friend. Her perfectly innocent dude friend that would never be into her because she's not his type. That kept openly flirting with her and calling her babe. I trusted her when she said there was nothing going on. I just didn't like that he would openly act like that around me. That he continued to do such when I said I didn't think it was cool. And how she thought it was the most normal thing in the world for him to be flirting with her 95% of their time together. Broke up with her because I couldn't handle him. Story 16. She constantly said Chipotle instead of Chipotle. True sad story.